right, now we're going to be chatting again about chat rooms, finding out a little bit more, and Dr. Streicher is here to sort of enlighten us, as they say. Now, Dr. Streicher, you know, something that I want to also touch on, cyberbullying is something that is quite prevalent if you look at the social networking pages. I receive it at times myself. But for children, how does one actually try and control cyberbullying when it comes to your young ones?
I think it is going to happen. I think one must remember that your own children could be, the chances are as good that they are a victim of cyberbullying as the chances of them being a perpetrator of cyberbullying. So the first step is to teach them not to hurt other children online. And then another thing that often happens is you've got accomplices. You know, one person might be the perpetrator, but then thousands of people join in, they think it's funny. So they are as much part of the problem as the first person that initiated the attack. So again, there the message to children is don't participate in cyberbullying attacks. And then lastly, children should talk to someone they trust. If they are attacked, they must speak to their parents or their teacher. Often, unfortunately, parents overreact. They take away their child's cell phone, which is not the way to react.
I remember a day or two when my parents did something like that, you know.
Yeah. So, again, parents and teachers should not overreact. They should support their children.
All right. Now, we also got quite a couple of comments on Facebook. You know, a lot of people actually mentioning some really interesting things. And I have to say, it's always nice when you hear from the kids as well. But before I go to that, I just want to find out from you, do you have any advice for parents out there? If you're a parent or a teacher, I mean, how do you go about, you know, trying to go about balancing your child's chat room environment, so to speak?
Yes. It's very important that parents use the same services that their children use. Technology is changing so quickly, they cannot rely on their experience as a teenager because some of these technologies weren't around then. So they should use these services and then make a call as to the risk. Parents are very clear on what the risks are for their children to go to the mall, to go to a party, or to go to a nightclub. But when you bring up the new services like chat rooms, social networking, Facebook, can they really distinguish between the different risks on these different platforms? So the way to get around that is for parents to use these services themselves and then be able to guide their children from a point of experience.
Okay, well, I'm going to actually go to the comment that we actually got on Facebook, and I must say this one kind of really stuck with me. It comes from Lungile Leilo Abata, and she says that I'm 14 as well, and I'm always careful. Thing is, we always get sweet talks from older guys and think it's fine, but it's not. The more we get close to somebody we don't know, the more we are in danger. I think we are allowed to join chat rooms at an age where we are mature enough to think for ourselves and know what's the difference between right and wrong. Doesn't she sound like the ideal child? I think if anything, any parent out there would like to have that.
That is so true. You know, the type of things that kids are exposed to is typically older men that are trying to seduce them. So, you know, there is the misconception that you will have older men that stalk children and then tie them up and put them in the boot of their car. That is a misconception. It's like the girl said, men trying to sweet talk young girls. But I still think, you know, look, kids, I don't have a problem with kids talking to strangers online as long as it's about a topic other than sex. You know, if it's about a hobby, it is fine. But if you've got a platform that is predominantly used for talking about sex, then I don't think children should be in that environment.
True. Dr. Streicher, thank you so much for joining us right here on Expresso. I think that parents out there are so glad that you came, and some children out there as well learning a little bit more about the chat rooms itself. Well, stay tuned. We have lots more coming up after the break.